Hey everyone, so today is 14, 2 weeks exactly since I was circumcised. Just a quick update. So when I saw my doctor today, I thought he removed all of my stitches and I came back to find one that he'd missed. So then I had to take that one out when I got here. But that was, I was really happy that they came out because they were getting very irritated and itchy and just unsightly, and I don't really want track marks around my scar. I just don't think it's very attractive. So he took them out. Don't need to use ointment or anything anymore. I think I will for a couple of days because there's a couple of spots that I'm just a bit oh, just in case. And then after that, I'll start using the vitamin E bio oil around my inner skin and the sky and things like that, just to help with swelling and scar tissue and make sure everything heals nicely. The main problem I guess I've been having since my last update, and I didn't really want to talk about this in the videos, but it is a legit problem that I'm having, is my erections. Holy shit, I am so fucking pent up. It is ridiculous. Today, because before I got circumcised, there were friends that I was talking to about it, and I have friends who they're considering getting circumcised, so I'm a bit of a test run for them, which I do not mind being at all. But I'm just talking to them a lot, and then since I've started making these videos, I've met a lot of you guys who have been watching them, and I'm talking to you guys, and literally any conversation today that involved penises or circumcision or even just the thought of them, I need to find somewhere new to sleep because I hop into bed and automatically I turn to one side and my thought just starts going towards not even saying explicitly sexual, just saying sex related or sex adjacent, and immediately I start getting hard. It is insane. My erections don't hurt anywhere near as much as they used to because my stitches have come out, so that's really good. But there is still swelling, and like I said, my frenulum is intact, and so that's still quite swollen, so it can't really stretch, and and so it's sort of the best way I can think of to describe the pain, which I guess is the way that it is it's like trying to put too much liquid into a container. Eventually something's got to pop, but nothing can really pop because it's my penis. And I don't have sutures anymore. But Christ, we need to figure something out. A couple of people that I've spoken to have offered different ways that they masturbated and jerked off and things like that before they could start trying to do it properly. And I just find that they haven't worked for me. So one was just stimulating just the top of the glands, not going anywhere sort of near your suture line or where your glands flat, but just stimulating the top. Someone else said to just stroke the base of the shaft, and they just don't work for me. What they tend to do is just sort of titillate me or turn me on that bit much that my erection becomes too painful and then I can't finish, which is just not great. I've had a couple of people sort of jump the gun a little bit and be like, oh my God, that's the sensation you've lost in. And that's what it's going to be forever, blah, blah, blah. Settle down, everyone. And these aren't anti-circ people. These are just the other people who have been circumcised or who want to be circumcised, that are kind of into that aspect of it. And I don't think that's all it is. That's just, I've never gotten off doing those things. They aren't my pleasure spots. So I think that's just what it is. At the moment, I'm thinking the only way it's going to resolve itself is a wet dream, I'm 14. But even then, I don't think that will work because I'll get hard and then it'll hurt and then I'll wake up and I won't get to finish my wet dream. Something else that has been worrying me, and it sounds stupid, and like I just said, I didn't really want to make it about the more physical and sort of sexual aspects of my penis, but they are things that are concerning me, is that when I had the stitches, one day when I was having an erection, I just measured it just to see sort of what was going on, and I couldn't get as fully hard as I used to. There was an inch, not missing, but I couldn't get to my full length. And so after stitches count today and I had an erection today, I measured it again, and it wasn't that much better. And I'm sure, like, the rational part of my brain is just saying, like, Kyle, everything's still swollen, your frenulum's still swollen, nothing's really stretching, there's no, like, slack or give or anything like that. Just like, wait, because it's week 2. And even though I'm incredibly happy with how my healing is going at week 2, and, you know, my doctor today, he said, like, it's healing extremely well, and he was really happy with it. Like, realistically, it is only week 2. Like, I still need to wait a really long time. You know, most research I did, and my doctor said 4 weeks minimum before any sexual activity, and that's even with myself. How I'm going to get there, I don't fucking know at this point, but 4 weeks, and then 6 weeks for sexual activity with someone else. Also don't know how I'm going to get there, but we'll see. Yeah, but just like that missing inch of my penis is very sorely missed at the moment. You know, I've had a couple of people say, like, oh, well, you know, you'll lose some length being circumcised and things like that. And, like, if we're talking like a few millimeters, like, cool, down for it. If we're talking like half an inch, that's problematic. I did not sign up for that. But we'll see how it goes. That's all ranked in my head at the moment. I'm really enjoying talking to a lot of you guys and just hearing about your experiences. And something that I've noticed, which I find really cool, is there's been a lot of guys that I've spoken to who got circumcised later in life. Like, I've spoken to people who were circumcised when they were 13, or, you know, well, babies, you know, teen years, 19, 20, 21. And then there's a few people who haven't been circumcised until they were in their mid to late 40s. And it's because they wanted to. And I guess it's just the thing of, like, you know, if it took them that long to get the courage up to do it, then that's awesome that they still went and did it. I think it's just a good thing that can be done at any age. And that circumcised penises look good at any age. This is one of the things. See, that comment, I was having a conversation with one of my friends before, and we made that comment, and instantly, just like, started getting really hard. It is becoming a really big problem. Didn't mean to do that pun, but it's still funny. Yeah, so now I guess we keep going. I've also had a lot of itchiness around my inner skin, which I figured out. I'm pretty sure I figured out it's my work pants, because it got really aggravated in the middle of last week. And then, you know, I worked a couple of shifts, and I've had the weekend off, and then I went back on Sunday night to work, and my inner skin got really aggravated again. So I'm pretty sure it's my work pants. And, you know, I went to go out, I think it was like day 7 or 8, and I put on some jeans, and the second I put them on and started walking around, I was like, no, these are too, like, fitting, this is too much contact. I put on some khakis and felt the same. So I've basically been living in my sweatpants. But yeah, so my inner skin has been very aggravated from my work pants. And when I spoke to the doctor about that today, he was like, it's healing, it's normal. Like, itchiness is a sign. It's the sign of, like, new cells and healing, basically. And I said, well, how long does it till it goes away? And he's like, we'll see. And I was like, that's not a great answer. So he said, like, 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks. So we'll see how we go. I'm sure it will drive me crazy, but what are you going to do? I did try, so the Fusidin, the antibacterial ointment that the doctor gave me. I did try to use that to sort of help soothe, and that didn't really work. I tried some bio oil, and that didn't work. Savlon seems to be working the best, which I think Savlon is an international brand, or it could just be something that's sold in Australia. I'm not really sure, but that seemed to have a sort of nice cooling sort of effect, which is what I wanted and needed. So I think I'll be intermittently using that with the bio oil and vitamin E, but we'll see. What else do I really have to say? I think there's much else. Like the swelling has still gone down, like still there, but it has gone down a lot. Um, I'm starting to get like actual definition between like my glands and then like the sort of not cleft, but like the dip underneath, and then it goes into the swelling, which is sort of cool. Um, Something that I did want to talk about, and something that people sort of brought up um, in general conversations, is the way that being circumcised changes. Like there's a psychological aspect to it, and I understand that now. Like the more time that's passing, and the more things that are happening, I'm sort of feeling those things, and I'm enjoying them because I want to be circumcised, and I'm quite proud that I went and done it, and I'm going to be really happy when it's all done, assuming I get my inch back. um, but there is a thing that's sort of happening in my head, like just being hands free, like being able to just stand up, hands on my hips, and not all uncut guys do this, but when I have my foreskin, I always rolled it back when I peed, and so that was the thing. Like I had to use my hands for, and it's like a stream. There's no like splash or spray or anything like that. Like that was just something that I was like, that's like a circumcision thing. And then when I had my stitches out today, I walked out and I was like, I feel like I've stepped into like the next stage of like my circumcision life. Which is really strange. I was talking to my Instagram friend, who a lot of you have asked about, and I just sent him a message, and I was saying like, I feel like it's like I'm upgrading, and I was like, I feel like at the moment I'm on like level 35 circumcision. Like that's, which sounds ridiculous, but it's just that I feel like if we're going from like 35, like 0 to 100, like just being circumcised is like an automatic 20 points. Like I'm on level 20, and just all these little things now are just getting me up. I haven't figured out like a complete spectrum for it. I feel like 1 year circumcised and being happy will be like level 100, but I also feel like being able to comfortably have sex and enjoy and things like that is like easily a level 80, and that's likely going to be a little while away. Yeah, that's my little psychological rant. Yeah, but it is something that's interesting. If anyone watching this has thoughts or comments on that, or if you notice some sort of psychological changes when you got circumcised, if you remember being circumcised because you've experienced both, like let me know in the comments below. I'm interested in what you guys think about that. But yeah, that's 14-day update. Just because there's nothing really like new or sudden sort of happening at the moment, my next update will probably be in another week, so day 21, and that will also be really cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing what changes are happening, and every day I feel like I'm just a little bit like, oh, that's a little bit less swollen, or that's a bit more defined, or whatever. Even just things like, I didn't really notice it until today. I was sort of flicking through some photos, but just like even the color of my glands, it's not as like pink as it was previously. And it's just like, that's another thing where I'm like, yeah, that's a circumcised cock thing. So yeah, hopefully my intention was not to titillate or turn on anyone in this video, but that is just where my brain is at the moment. Yeah, it's really bad. It is really bad. Like, I didn't think that I had like that high of a sex drive, but apparently I do. And it's not fun. There's a video, another guy who's been circumcised, he did a video on YouTube, and he did it for like irritated frenulum reasons or something, and he doesn't really talk about it with a lot of that he's super proud to be circumcised. He, in the end, sort of goes against it. But at the start of the video, he does say like, I have a really high sex drive, like abnormally high sex drive. And so when I couldn't go without sex for 4 weeks, that he really struggled with it and blah, blah. And he made it sound like this atrocious, like it was the worst thing. And that was the worst thing about being circumcised, is not being able to have sex for for the 4 weeks. And people in the comments were just being stupid, being like, oh, cause of death, didn't have sex for 4 weeks. And when I watched that video, I was like, oh, come on, mate, like, fuck off, sort of thing. Like, if that's the worst thing about it, as opposed to like the pain or changes in sensation that you're not used to or anything like that, like, get a grip. But look, I'm not like completely on his side, but I'm starting to see where he's coming from. Another thing that I've noticed, if I plan this ahead, this would be a lot more coherent instead of jumping around all over the place. But that's what you get from a Kyle video. Is like, you know, when I was trying to get myself off to relieve all this pent up tension, even just things like the way I grabbed my dick to start, like, I don't have any slack anymore. Like, I don't have any, like, loose skin. I can't roll up over my glands. And there was, like, the first few times I grabbed it, I was like, oh, I can't grab there anymore because there's, like, nothing. And that was another thing where I was like, circumcision, level up. And just, like, you know, I had to use lube and all these things that I sort of anticipated. But now that they're happening, it's a lot more exciting, just sort of slapping me in the face a little bit more. That's a poor choice of words. But they're just things I'm more consciously realizing, and yeah, they're exciting. They're cool. Thank you for watching. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope everyone's staying safe. If you have comments, questions, stories, even just like advice, like, you know, if you were going through something and you found something that you think might help, you know, comment, let me know. I hope you enjoyed watching. Everyone have a good week. All right, bye.